Reality is a fantasy. It doesn't exist. Reality is just an illusion. A trick that your mind plays on you. For an example, humans have 5 basic senses. You have eyesight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. Your 5 basic senses. That's what makes up your reality. Most of it is your vision. And then there's your other senses. Right, so they make up your reality. And once your reality is made up, you start to perceive it. And once you perceive it, you start to live it. So for an example, if you grew up in a poor neighborhood, all what you see is poverty, that's all what you hear. The food you taste is bad. The food you smell is bad. The touch around the neighborhood is bad. You can feel the tension. Then you're going to perceive your life as poor. That's not a guarantee, but that's usually how it's the case. If you go to a bad end of town, everybody resembles how the town looks. Very rarely, once in a while, you see someone actually stand out. You'll never go to a ruined downtown and see a giant mansion there. It looks all clean as compared to the rest of the place. But if you go to the west end of Louisville, it's a mess. Everything's a mess. The people are dirty, the buildings are dirty, the landscapes are dirty. Finding a clean building with a rich folk living in it is very odd. Now, if you live in a rich, high-class society, you're going to perceive your life as rich and high class because everything looks rich and high class. Everything tastes, they taste gourmet. They taste very high end. If you're middle class, you're going to perceive your life being in the middle. That's because of your basic 5 senses. But if you didn't have those 5 senses, you wouldn't be able to hear, see, taste, touch, or smell, and therefore you would have no reality. There would just be nothing. There are 7 billion people on the planet, which means there are 7 billion different realities. There's not one reality. There's multiple realities. That's because there are multiple illusions. There's no such thing as an objective reality. You put a camera, you record a street, people are going to perceive different things. You put a movie in a theater, everyone's going to have a different opinion because of how they perceive the film. Reality, it's not real. It's not objective. It's subjective. Reason why because that is because of our senses. Without those senses, we would have no reality. It would just be nothing. We would just be vegetables. We'd be alive, but we really wouldn't know it. What's it like to have our senses deprived? Some people are deaf, some people are blind, some people are both. But what if you didn't have any of those senses? Your life might be very complicated. How do blind people perceive the world if they can't see it? So like I said, reality, I think it's just an illusion. I don't think it's real. It's just how our brain perceives it. So there's your second philosophical theory. Reality is just a fantasy. I'll have more theories coming up.